Well, hello. It's me again. It's Ife. Welcome to Happy TV Reacts. Well, hello everyone. It's your girl, Ife Sams, New York State certified peer specialist. Peer specialists are people who use their lived experience and blah, 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 blah. Any whoosies. So Happy TV is here. We're humanizing mental health, and we're doing that by talking about mental health concerns from the lens of not just spirituality, but the lens of truth, the Bible, Christianity, and seeing how God sees us. So today for Happy TV Reacts, I have a very, very fun and exciting thing. One day I was in my house and I don't even know what I was looking for. I was walking around, whatever. But I happened upon a room that I normally don't go into. But I looked down and I happened to see this little handy dandy notebook. You could see this. And I looked at it, it said my name on it, and I opened it up and I started to read it. And I realized that this is a journal from the time when I was in middle school. So the middle school I was in, I started it when I was in the 5th grade. And so I read through some of it and I realized that this book contains the inner workings of my 10-year-old self. So today I am going to be reacting to my 10-year-old self. Yay! So today I want to react to my 10-year-old self. And namely, one of the things that I've been thinking about is Happy TV, we humanize mental health. But also we just humanize the experience of being human, I think. And one of the things I love is that the Lord shows us who we are. He just wants us to know who we are and how we were made. And I think that that's the aim of Happy TV, is we humanize mental health by saying, no, this is not wrong. You're not broken to experience these things. You're merely a human being. And this is how you were created. So why don't we add some wisdom, add some discernment, add some discipline to our human experiences so that we can together move forward towards something that we really want in our own lives. Move forward towards a meaningful and satisfying life. So one of the things I want to see is, what do you guys think? Do you think that I'm going to be the same person? Do you think that some personality traits that I have are going to come out in this journal? What do you think? I'm so excited. I think I'm going to be most interested to see the purity of characteristics I already know I have as an adult. I'm a 29-year-old adult. I'm interested in seeing if some of the purity of my own characteristics and my own personality, if those things come out in this journal, and if we see some of those characteristics in my 10-year-old self as well. What do you think? Comment down below if you have ever thought of yourself, in your younger form. The Bible says that those who will inherit the kingdom of heaven will have to come like a little child. So let's see, are some of my personality traits now, especially for those of you who know me personally, are some of those personality traits in here? Do we see them? All right, well, let me stop talking and let's get going. I'm excited. All right, first off, I really can't believe that I'm doing this, but I can't wait. I think that's going to be really awesome. All right, so let's go to our first one. September 12th, 2002. If I had $1 million, I'd buy all the candy at my corner store. I'd also buy a gigantic pool for all my friends and family to play in. I'd also buy just about whatever I want. If I had $1 million, I'd be rich. Yes, I would be. A lot of people think today that $1 million is not that much money, but I think it's hilarious. That goes to show where my head was at. What am I going to use $1 million for? Well, let's see. I think it's so sweet. If I had $1 million, I'm thinking I would buy all the food I want to eat. I would buy all the candy I want to buy. And also I would buy a pool for all my friends and family to play in. I think that's sweet. So generous, Ife. All right, let's look at the next one. Today is 9/11, the anniversary of the attacking on the World Trade Center. Many died trying to save their lives, and others. This was a very tragic event that brought the whole world together. I think that's something that was clear around that time. I was in the 4th grade when 9/11 happened, and I remembered that feeling like, that was a narrative around then, that the whole world was coming together because of this tragic thing that happened. And every year subsequently, we definitely talked a lot about, what did 9/11 do and what happened around that time. And how did you feel about it? How did you feel? It was scary, but I definitely don't think I really understood what was going on. So, praise God that we're still here. Praise the Lord. Okay, here we are. All right, let's go to the next one, huh? Okay. If only I could fly and soar above the clouds, I could wave down at my friends and defy gravity. That would be very cool and real fun. If only I could fly. That's interesting, considering that my background is some clouds right now. I think also, as I was reading through this, it's like, this is the first of a few bird references. I wonder what I was going through at the time. Why did I want to fly? I don't know. Why does anyone want to fly? Once upon a time, there lived a princess named Ife. She was loved all throughout the land for her kindness and bravery. Everyone adored her and every day wanted to be more and more like her. Her boyfriend, Prince, and then there's a name that's scribbled out, was a kind and gentle soul. When the king and queen died, they ruled, had 4 children, and went on living their life devoted to each other deeply. When they died, their children took over and were great rulers, as they all lived happily ever after. The end. This name that's scribbled out is totally my boyfriend in middle school who, whenever we were alone together or even just around each other, we never spoke to each other, but supposedly we were together as boyfriend and girlfriend. It'd be like that sometimes. So he makes an appearance a few times throughout this. Maybe I'll say his name. Maybe I won't. Okay, let's go to the next one. All right, here's the next one. My best day ever was where I made my first best friends in Skylar. Their names are Misan, Alyssa, and Zana. They've been really good buddies to me, and we look out for each other. Hey, that's what friends are for. That's right. That's what friends are for, Lil Eve. Come on. Come on. Ooh, let me turn the page. When I grow up, I want to be a vet because I love animals and would like to help sick ones. I'd also like to adopt orphan animals, hopefully saving some lives because if people don't take them home, they get put to sleep. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna try to do all I can as a vet and as an animal lover to save their lives. You know, when I was a little kid, from the time I was in kindergarten, I remember this very vividly, that whenever they would ask, you know, Ife, what do you want to do when you grow up? I always said I wanted to be a vet. I mean, after I stopped saying I wanted to be a ballerina, always said I wanted to be a vet. And my parents actually took me pretty seriously. Like, my dad took me pretty seriously, but I kind of wonder why I wanted to be a vet. I think that part of me wanted to be a vet just because my parents never let me have any animals growing up, and I really wanted to have some. But I think also I just loved animals. I think it's interesting. What did you want to be when you grew up, when you were a little kid? Are you doing that now? Are you doing something different? If you're doing something different, how do you feel about that? How do I feel about the fact that I used to want to be a vet and now I work in mental health? I mean, at the same time, you know, think about when you're a vet, and when I wanted to be a vet, I, you know, wanted to essentially take care of, you know, broken and wounded animals, and now I'm taking care of broken and wounded people. That's so sweet. That's so sweet. Okay, next one. Okay, here's the next one. I would like to go to France because I've never been there, and I heard it's a beautiful place. And I've heard the people are very patriotic. Besides, I'm taking French class. Maybe I'll be able to communicate with them. The answer is probably not, because I don't speak French. Je ne parle pas de français. That's all I know how to say. I do not speak French. That's what I know how to say in French. But I think it's so interesting. Look at this. I've heard the people are very patriotic. Wow. I guess I was patriotic even as a 10-year-old. That's great. I'm not going to lie, though. Let me say something about that time, especially as a kid during 9/11. They definitely instilled that kind of like patriotism in us to say that our country is amazing. I do believe that America is great, especially after, you know, going to other countries and living in other places as well. But I think that's interesting to say that I said that. All right, this one was interesting. It's so unfair that every time something bad happens, I get blamed. I just hate it when that happens. Nobody else but me. I know I'm overreacting, but it's true. It's just so unfair. You know what's interesting is when I read this, as an adult, when I found this journal, I literally was feeling like nobody else but me was experiencing something. But I feel like I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, is this an entry point or something? Is this like an open door in my life that came when I was a child? And it's funny because reading this as an adult, I was like, oh, wow. So that's been with me for a while. And I think in that moment, I think maybe I got some freedom. Thank you, Jesus. Here's the next one. I do. That's so weird. I have so many girl cousins that I forget their names. I only remember a little. But it doesn't matter if they're boy or girl, because I love them all. I'm actually kind of proud of my 10-year-old self that she was so kind. Ugh. She was so kind. That's so sweet. And I'm trying to think of like, who is my one boy cousin? Because do I have one boy cousin? I don't even know who that is. Anywho, I could have made this stuff up. Okay, here's the next one. If I were an animal, I'd be a bird. Another bird reference. If I were an animal, I'd be a bird so I can fly. I just loved flying. I'd also like to be a lion, the king of the jungle, to know what it is like to hunt in the life of a lion. Man, I am a meat eater. Alrighty. Okay, here's the next one. Oh my gosh, I should read this one. This one is actually really hilarious. Let's do this one. One thing I could not live without would be my pillow. I love that pillow like my own mother. It's soft and smells great. If anything happened to it, I would be devastated. I wouldn't know what I would do because I can't live without it. Now that one is a little disturbing because because why do you love a pillow like your own mother, Ife? It's soft and smells great. Yeah, I remember being a child and really having a strange relationship with my pillow, like loving my pillow. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's where I got comfort from, was my pillow. I don't know what I would do without it. You know what I think? I must not have had to turn in these assignments because I was just going in on these journal entries and I didn't seem to care who read these. Maybe nobody was reading them. Anywho. All right, so this one says, I should never insult my teacher or any teacher, for it is rude and uncalled for. I don't like to be rude or mean to people because it's not nice. So don't ever do this. Don't. Okay, I'm pretty sure I wrote that stuff because a lot of the kids in my school, from what I remember, a lot of kids in my school were just straight up uncultured. Straight up uncultured. I really don't know why. Oh, I like this one. Last Saturday was the week after my birthday, which was October 5th. I went to my music class and my violin teacher asked me how my birthday was. I told him, then my sister and I went home and watched TV. Uneventful birthday. Wonderful. Wonderful. Here we go. I wonder how a teacher does it. Put up with the students no matter how bad they are. It's just annoying. Like my 7th period class French, the kids are so bad. My sub, Miss Porter, can put up with them no matter what. Well, she doesn't do anything though. She just sits at her desk and does paperwork. All the kids just jump around, don't do any work, and talk. But what I also wonder is, what boys in this school like me and which don't? It's really important to a girl to know. Oh my gosh, that's so silly. It's really important to a girl to know. Honestly, it is important to know. But you know what? You'll survive, little Ife. You did survive. Praise God. Let's go to the next one. Oh, this one's interesting too. This one's fun. In 10 years, I'm going to be 20. I want to go to the veterinarian school on Utica to fulfill my dream of being a vet. I also want to get married and have 2 kids. I'm going to watch out for my parents and never beat my kids because I don't believe in it. So this is what I want to do when I'm 20. That's kind of early, don't you think? If I was 20 and I had 2 children, if I was married and had 2 children by the time I was 20, not only would I have been in college at the time, but that means I would have had to go through that from the time I was at least 18. When you're 10, you just don't have a right understanding of time and how long things take. Okay, let's go to the next one. I like this one. I'm special because I'm a girl who likes stuff for boys. I guess I'm a tomboy, but that's just the way I am. But what can you do to change it? I'm special and I'm loving every second of it. I'm also special because in my 5th period class, my teacher is always talking to the teacher saying how good I am. That is why he chose me to be his secretary. Guess what, world? I'm special. Yes, you are. That's really funny. It started like any other day. I woke up early, put on my clothes, had my daily fight with my sister, went downstairs, put on my shoes, go back upstairs, get some money, bring my bag down, eat breakfast, go outside, wait for my van, get to school, go somewhere to buy lunch, go to the schoolyard, go into school, learn some, go back on the van, home, do my homework, play some, and last but certainly not least, sleep. I'm exhausted just reading that. My word. What's next? Oh, right. I was looking at this and I was like, have my daily fight with my sister? What? Have my daily fight with my sister? What? Oh, word. All right.
In this world of mental health, all these labels and diagnoses, understanding it all seems so grim. However will I comprehend it? How must I support people through it?
Hey, you! Yeah, you! Down here!
Yes?
Tell me something. What you know about depression?
Is that when you're sad?
Pathetic! How about bipolar disorder? Schizophrenia? Borderline personality? Come on! What you gonna do with all that ignorance?
I guess not much.
Nothing! The church was called to be a vehicle of freedom for people with struggles in their mental health. Not ignorance, pushing it off, saying, oh, let a doctor handle that. No! You handle it! Don't worry, kid. Are You Happy can help. Here, take this.
Season 1 of Are You Happy needs your help to make it happen. Consider becoming a donor today to our crowdfunding campaign and help make the church a place of healing and hope for people who struggle with their mental health.
You be careful with that now. Side effects include enlightenment, empowerment, and self-awareness.
Become empowered today. Donate to Happy TV this summer.
You know what, kid? You'll be all right.
So tell me, won't you tell me, are you happy?
How you guys liking this? All right, let's try this. Here we go. As I opened the door, a little man jumped out at me. As I screamed, he yelled, "What are you screaming about? I am the Viper. I come to wash and wipe you windows." But then I stopped screaming. I realized that his accent was making him say "vipe." He was really saying, "I am the wiper. I come to wash and wipe your windows." It is also an alliteration. Very interesting, Eve. Because when I was a kid, we used to read these books. They were called... I forgot what they were called. If they were called like Maid's Tales or Old Wives' Tales or something of the sort. Do you guys remember reading stuff like that where it was like horror stories and it is meant to make you kind of jolt a little bit? But one of the stories was this guy who was a viper. "I am the viper. I am the viper. I come to wash and wipe your windows." And then the person realized that, oh, they just had an accent. I don't know if that's culturally appropriate. At the time, we didn't care about that kind of stuff. All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. I would rather die than marry someone I don't love. It doesn't make sense. Then you have kids, and you love your kids, but you hate your husband. I will never do that. If someone I hate asked me to marry them, I would just say, "No, I don't love you." Other people just say yes because they're desperate for a relationship. Well, you people are crazy. Oh my God. How wise. How wise. Oh, that's the same one. How wise. Okay, the best gift I ever received was my older sister. I love her with all my heart, and if I was ever separated from her, I don't know what I would do without her. That's funny because I'm pretty sure I said the same thing about my pillow. She's always there for me when someone hurts me or I hurt myself. I love my sister with all my heart. Sis, this one's for you. Oh, man. My biggest worry is that someone breaks into my house and kills me or my family. Plot twist. But I have faith that God will protect me. But when bad things do happen, I know that God will take me into his place. I'm also worried because 4th period, Keith and another boy in my homeroom made a bomb with nuclear chemicals in it, brought it to school, and planned to blow it up in the lunchroom. And I'm worried. I really hope none of these ever happen. I remember Keith. Keith was a boy in my class who was weird. He was a weird kid. Alrighty, next. I dream about what I'm gonna do when I get a boyfriend that I really truly love. Then we grow old together and get married, starting our relationship starting now in IS 383, the name of my middle school. I cannot believe this. I've already chosen a boy that I really truly like. Other people don't like him because they think he ugly, but I like him just for him. His name is Joseph Williams. I really think he's the one. Oh my God, I really said that. Oh, Jesus is king. This is too funny. If I had a superpower, I would make peace in the world so that there would be no sin and madness in the world, and we would all love our brothers and sisters for how God made us. I hate it when people fight and kill. It makes me so sad. Why can't we just live in peace? That is what I want my superpowers to be. And here's a little picture. Before. Killing. After. Hugs. You see that? Even the sun is smiling. Smiling down on us. The most annoying thing in my life is boys that like you, but you don't like them. But they keep asking you to go out with them. I just really hate that. It's so annoying. No comment. Wow, I'm seeing a trend here. The meaning of love is when you care or are really fond of someone. There are many people that I love. Heck, I love my whole family. There is no one that I love in this school. But there is someone that I like a lot. There's no one that you love, Ife? This was on 12/10/2002. And you just said on 12/2, 8 days ago, where's the close-up of that one? Huh? I've already chosen a boy that I really truly like. Other people don't like him because they think he's ugly, but I like him just for him. His name is Joseph Williams. I really think he's the one. What happened to that one, Ife? Huh? What happened to that? Because I'm pretty sure that was on 12/2. Get it together. Get it together. Okay. My sister is just like me because we usually share the same thoughts and feelings about different things in the world, like boys and teachers we hate. My sister and I even say the same thing at the same time. It's great when someone shares the same thoughts. Then you could have the best conversation ever. That's interesting because I would think that somebody having the same thoughts as you would not be the best conversation ever. But now that I think about it, my sister and I, we used to have so much fun. We would just talk and talk and talk, and we would have so much fun talking for hours when we really should have been sleeping that my dad used to come in the middle of the night and separate us because that's how much we would talk to each other all the time. Okay, here we go. Here's the next one. It looks like it was another prompt. How does? I don't really have a question of how does, so I'm gonna talk about my boyfriend followed by what? I wonder if I should get him a present for Christmas. I really like him, so I'm gonna get him something. Wow, Ife, it is just embarrassing how much you talking about boys, girl. Embarrassing. I wonder if my friends would be, I wonder if people who know me personally would be confused as to why I'm talking about boys so much when I was 10. Because that's not me now. I definitely do not talk about boys. Maybe it's because I'm just busy. I think about them though. Okay, here's another one. It's Friday the 13th. On my van, everyone in the first and second row was scared to death. We were talking about scary movies and scary websites. Since we pass a graveyard every day, today when we passed it, we all held our breath. This morning was breathtaking, quite literally. Good one. But punny. If I could do the impossible, blow anybody I just despise out of this world, for example, Keith, Malcolm, Sophia, and others that I despise, that would be so fun. My God. Why is that the last one, though? That is literally the last one. My God. My God. Anywho, guys, like and subscribe, huh? Why don't ya? Because, you know, here we are. Let me bring this up here talking. Okay, here we go. Okay, guys, like and subscribe. That was the video. Let's see. Final thoughts. Final thoughts. I realized that a lot of the things that I know to be like me now, like, you know, I definitely, you know, think about other people in the sense of, you know, it's fun to have other people, you know, share things with other people. You know, I love the idea of being able to live in peace with others. Still, as an adult, I value being kind. I don't like being rude to people. I don't think that's nice. But one of the things that surprised me, though, I would say is how honest and candid I am. Because I would say that, you know, I guess I'm honest now. However, I don't know if I would actually be so honest in something if I thought that somebody else was going to read it. You know, I might want to like sugarcoat it a little bit and make it seem like it's not that crazy. I just think that's so interesting. And the amount of references talking about boys, like, come on, Ife. I mean, I guess I was 10, so I feel like that's probably around the time. I feel like that's probably around the time when you start thinking about boys, I guess. That seems kind of early, though, because I know some 10-year-olds now, and I'm like, they're probably not really thinking about the opposite sex in the way that I was. You know, I wondered, you know, reading those journals, if we're able to get deep down to a place of purity where there are real feelings underneath these things that might be on the surface. And I don't know if we got there, because even as a 10-year-old, I'm talking about being angry. I'm talking about receiving comfort. I'm talking about wanting to be a bird and wanting to be able to soar above the clouds and say hello to my neighborhood and that kind of thing. And I think that's so interesting to see how those things transfer over to the point where, you know, you're an adult and there's still that purity that's in you. And man, give me a comment down below and tell me if you feel that as an adult Ife, how similar is adult Ife to childhood Ife? How similar is adult Ife to 10-year-old Ife? Because man, this was 20 years ago. And yet we still see some similarities, don't we? So leave a like and comment. Please leave a comment. I love reading your comments and I love responding to your comments. Leave a comment. Tell me what you thought about this video. Tell me what you want me to do next. Tell me if you've ever thought about what you were like as a child. What are some areas in your own life that you believe are you retaining your childlike self? Let me know. I'm excited to read them, so please keep an eye out as well to areyouhappy.tv/give. We will be launching a Kickstarter by the end of this month. So please stay tuned to that. We will be crowdfunding. Oh man, pray for your girl. Pray for your girl. But it's such a pleasure and an honor. I'm really loving interacting with all of you. Please stay confident and bold and free and in who you are. Much love. Bye-bye.